I'm Eric. This is my 2011 Suzuki GSXR 750. You're watching Freedom Fab Rides. In this episode, we redo our entire front end. Alright, so it's currently Sunday, and next week I've got a lot of parts coming in, including the wheel bearings, which we need to put on our wheels, and sprockets, all that good stuff. So we need to make some progress this weekend in order to stay up to date next week when we get our other parts in. So we need to switch over our forks, which we already have, and replace all this stuff, get our handlebars mounted, and get this kind of front end put together so we can keep moving forward when all of our other stuff gets here. So we're going to start by taking off this top triple clamp, removing our yoke nut, ignition, all that good stuff, and we'll start putting the new stuff on. So in the meantime, I need to get my engine hoist out, and then we're going to hook up our engine hoist with some straps around the front of the frame here and over here. That way we can lift the bike up off of the stands and support that while we take our forks off. So I'm going to move some stuff out of the way, get that hoist over here, and then we can start taking stuff apart. Okay, so we've got our engine hoist in here, a little crane kinda. We've just got a basic strap holding up the front end. It's not on a stand anymore, so you can see that it's kind of loose there. So our forks are movable around. So the first thing we're gonna do is take off our calipers again. So I put these back on just to make sure that there wasn't any pressure holding up on the brake lines, but we are getting all stainless steel brake lines. So what I think I'm gonna do is break all of these completely loose and just set these aside, get them out of the way. That way, when we get our new ones on, we can just throw those on there, not have to worry about anything. And we can take all these lines all the way up to our master cylinder off and just get those out of the way. That way we don't have to fight them and work around those. So we're going to start with taking off some of that stuff, getting everything else out of the way, and then we can go ahead and start removing some of these lower triple clamp bolts and pulling our forks out. So we got our forks completely out, we got our brakes off. These are our brake lines down here. I had an oil pan just to catch the brake fluid when that kind of leaked out. So we can go ahead and toss those since we have new ones coming. And this is a good time that we can kind of just inspect everything and make sure nothing else is damaged in the wreck. So we can see here that one of our stops is just a little bent. That's nothing that I'm gonna worry about. Everything else looks real nice and straight. I'm not going to be concerned about anything quite here yet. I wiped out the insides here, and everything else looks pretty nice and straight. So we're gonna go ahead and get these other forks in, and then we will get the top triple clamp on, and then we can start putting our handlebars on. I just wanted to go over real quick the differences between the old and the new. They are the exact same forks. I just wanted to show you kind of the damage on the old ones versus the new ones here. So it looks like these ones were leaking. These are the ones that came off of the bike. These two here, it looks like they were leaking fluid on the top. And then one of them had some pretty bad rash right here. So if we can get it to focus here. And then they just had some kind of just wear all around them. And then the new ones that I bought are also off of 2011 750, so I don't have to worry about anything not bolting up or not being the same spring rates. But the one thing that damage that they did have was from just one of the front fender tabs breaking off. And so once we get them bolted up, I will go ahead and put the fender on there, and then that way we can line up the hole. Then I will actually cut off one of the tabs from the old ones and then weld it on in that same spot. But we won't get that done until we have that fender lined up, so I know where the hole goes. So we're going to continue, put these guys on the bike, and then start putting our handlebars on.
Trying hard to be someone else. All we want is please. Giving no time to breathe. This is our identity.
Okay, so as you guys can see, I had to move the mount for where I was picking up the bike just to give me more room. But we got our new forks on, and then we put our new triple clamp on up top. Then we leveled our forks. I have just under 4 millimeters sticking out top. That's just kind of what I figured out I liked on my last bike when we had it tuned. And then I transferred everything over from the ignition. And then we put our handlebar mounts on there as well. So we're going to continue setting up our handlebars and getting everything mounted on those, and then we should be good to go. So we got everything together on our front end, and it's really looking like it's coming together well. So we got our fork on, and I put this little carbon fiber sticker protective thing on there on my last bike. My keys kind of started scratching up right there, so thought I'd throw one of those on there, and it kind of matches what was on there before. We got our handlebars on, we got everything mounted to our handlebars, we got our new levers on, and everything's looking so far like it's working out. I was afraid I might have to extend some of the lines or the cables with extended versions of those, because I'm lifting the handlebars a few inches. So these are the Apex adjustable handlebars, and they have a 3-inch rise to them. So I really wanted the comfortability when I'm going on longer rides, something like that. So I rose the handlebars up a little bit, which I'm still the looks kind of growing on me a little bit still. It looks a little goofy at first, but I'd rather have that practicality than the looks. So other than that, we got our steering stabilizer on there. Got that all bolted up. All our forks are looking good. Got our head unit on here just to test to make sure none of this stuff's hitting over here. But other than that, got a matching tank pad on there, and all the red's starting to look good together. And then once we get our headlight in and some of our other parts, then I'll put the head fairing all together over here, and then we can really wiggle everything around, make sure that nothing's gonna hit or come in contact with anything. I know some people were saying that when they put the riser bars on there, they had some troubles hitting the head fairing up here, stuff like that. So everything's on there, but nothing's kind of super tight for now until we get that stuff on there and we can kind of test it. So everything's looking good so far, and that's kind of all we can do until we start getting some other parts. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop this video where it's at right now. Get that front end together was pretty much the biggest part that I wanted to get done before my next shipment of parts arrive. So you can see again that we got everything put together. We got our adjustable handlebars on there. We got our new forks. We got our new triple clamp. We got everything kind of put together, and it's starting to look like a real bike again. So in the next video, I can kind of start going over some of the parts that we have coming in. So I think actually tomorrow I'm supposed to be getting in my new exhaust, along with a lot of the small parts that we need to finish up. So we're getting everything from frame sliders to our stainless steel brake lines. We have a Power Commander 5 coming in. We have a 520 chain and sprocket conversion coming in. We got our wheel bearings, rear sets coming in, and just a lot of little stuff that we needed to kind of finish up and kind of just keep everything moving. So getting that front end together was our biggest step. That way we can just pop the wheel bearings in the wheels, put the wheels back on, and then in the next episode I want to take the rear swing arm off and repair where that spool broke off down here. So I'll take off the whole swing arm, flip it upside down, kind of smooth all the road rash out over here. Then I will I'm gonna end up grinding this, what's left of it, this little nub off, and then I've got some aluminum stock. I'm gonna drill a hole in, tap to the proper size, and weld into the proper spot, and that'll kind of fix that area up. And I'll go over with the LUT coat of paint, and then we can start putting everything else back together. So I'll do the chain sprocket at that point and put the new wheels on, and brake lines and all that good stuff. So we did get our headlight in today. So this is I really wanted a projector and HID headlight for the bike, and my two options were get an OEM headlight and do a conversion myself with some like Morimoto projectors and custom HID kits, or I went this route, which was actually just an eBay headlight. I think it's like projector, HID projector. It's a V2 version of it, so it's got LED running lights in here as well as a halo ring around the projector, which is kind of cool. They have a red, blue, and a white option, and I opted for the white just because I can actually run with them while I'm riding. The red and blue you can get in trouble for, so I didn't want to have to deal with that. But so I ended up getting this guy just so I didn't have to deal with trying to make my own kit. And it comes with all your adapters and wiring harnesses, stuff like that. And so now that we got this, we also got our mirrors, so we can start getting our front clip put together, our front head unit, and other than that, we're just waiting on our parts that are coming tomorrow, so our exhaust and all the other good stuff, and then we can really start to finish this bike out. So that's going to be it for this episode. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and follow us at Freedom Fab Rides on Instagram and Freedom Fabrication on Facebook, and just keep watching. We've got a lot coming up in the next few days. We've got a lot of really nice parts coming in, so I'll be making my own exhaust. I'll be cutting this one up and welding stuff to it, and then as well as putting all those other stuff on and installing the Power Commander and some other performance parts. So stay tuned, keep watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks guys.